Evening, everyone. This is Crider here. Friday, 8 April. As everybody knows, we had the latest patch drop, which had the last two expansions, Oath of the Gatewatch, and also the Shadows over Innistrad. And then everybody has seen all the massive amount of problems we've had since then. You guys on the X-Bone are sucking because you can't purchase coins, which can be problematic for you, especially if you're trying to get the whole set. I personally think it's more of a problem for WotC at this point. We'll see how that plays out in the long run. But if you're actually going to buy the set, I hope they fix it soon, because the cards are pretty cool. And then, for some reason, they were trying to make the game speed up, and they're just passing priority. If you've paid attention at all the last 2 days, you know all about this. Well, about 3 hours ago, WotC, off their Magic Duels Facebook page, put out a post, and it basically stated that it was an intentional thing, you know? Hang on, I'll pull it up and read it real quick. It's actually trending right now, too. That's the kind of funny thing about it. So, anyways, basically, they said many of you noticed a change in how Magic Duels handles passing priority and moving through the turn phases. In Magic Duels, a player's turn will now move through their main phases if they do not have a sorcery speed or land plays to make. This was an intentional design decision that was made to help speed up gameplay and help newer players have an easier time learning when to use their instant speed effects, particularly combat tricks. I mean, it's much longer than that. It's about 5 or 6 times in length about the whole thing. Just put things in perspective. This wasn't a problem that I was aware of, and if it is, make a tutorial video. Why change it? It just made no sense to me, and I have nobody I've talked to an NGA or on the Reddit or anywhere else who thought this was something that needed to be corrected. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully they get it fixed soon. They did say later on that they already have a fix in the works, which was initially planned for the fall content release. Listening to all of you, we're working on the best course of action to get this fixed out sooner. So, at least they're paying attention to us, the players, and they're trying to get this corrected. So, the thing that has a lot of people kind of upset, though, is that this is an intentional design issue. You know, they did this on purpose, and I'm baffled. You know, I really think they should get some playtesters from the community to come out here and actually test this out beforehand, because this is ridiculous. So, in any case, that is the long and short of it. It does kind of hurt gameplay a little bit, but it's still livable, for the most part. I'm not going to say it's perfect. There's some other issues they've had. One of the big ones is the Disciple of the Ring can't tap anything. I haven't personally seen this, but I know enough people have talked to me about it, or they've complained about it enough. I totally believe it. So, anyways, let's go over this. I've made a couple of decks. I made the Is It Prowess deck, Simic Tap Dancer, which is basically everything in the deck has flash, which is kind of neat. Made a Gruul Ramp because, well, why not? Definitely my favorite deck from the last season. Personal thought on this is it is nowhere near as good, and it has nothing to do with the loss of Acid Moss. It has everything to do with the meta and how it's changed because of the doubling of cards, basically. Then I made the Big Fat Green Drazi, Rakdos Vampires, Gruul Wolves, which I did this for fun, but honestly it's actually a pretty damn good deck. I'd put it at least tier 2, if not in the tier 1.5 status for a Duels deck. I've got the Eldrazi Tempo, which this is basically a straight copy off of Covert Go Blue. It's a couple cards, I believe, different, but we'll go over that if you guys like on my next video. But he's been playing it on his Twitch channel. He's been on there like every night. And then we've got Super Friends 1, which is an Abzan, and I've got a second one, which is whatever white, black, red, and blue, green is. I'll be darned if I remember. I keep wanting to add blue in, but it's hard to do that. 5 colors tough. This one requires work, so I'm going to come back to that in a later date. But we'll go over the Super Friends 1 deck and we'll give it a couple games, because it's actually kind of a fun deck. So, here we go. Starting off, we got Oath of Nissa. Pretty good enchantment. Drop it out. You look at the top 3 cards. You put a creature, land, or planeswalker into your hand, and then you can spend any color mana to cast your planeswalkers. Fantastic when you're dealing with a multiple color deck in this environment. That's the good news. Bad news is I've cast this maybe 9 or 10 times over the course of the last couple of days, and I've whiffed 3 of them and haven't seen any of those 3 types of cards. So sometimes it's going to bite you in the butt. It is what it is. But typically you're going to get something out of it. That's pretty good. You got the Sylvan Advocate, which at first I didn't think much of this card, because by the time you get the 6 lands out, you're looking at dealing with 6/6 plus creatures, or Eldrazi of some sort. But it's actually really good. I was surprised. The bonuses are, when it hits 6 lands, it and land creatures you control get +2/+2, and that's actually really strong. So now I understand, having played him for a while, why he's a 4 of pretty much in a lot of the standard decks I've looked at. Really a good card. Then we've got Nissa Vastwood Seer, because we're a Super Friends deck, so you want to have planeswalkers. Then I put in Tireless Tracker. This is currently I'm testing this card, but I've seen good results with it, because every time you lay a land, you get to investigate and you get to sack and draw cards. And I mean, this is no blue, so the card draw is kind of limited in the deck. So this could potentially give me some pretty decent card draw. So we'll see how that works out. You got the Oath of Gideon. He puts 2 1/1 core ally creature tokens in the battlefield when he comes into play, and each of your planeswalkers has an additional loyalty counter on it. This is one of my favorite oaths. Really, really strong, really powerful. Each of your planeswalkers coming in, getting an extra loyalty counter is really good. Only problem with it is it's not retroactive. So if you draw this after you drop a couple planeswalkers, well, at least you get a couple 1/1 blockers. Still really good. Alright, Natural Connection. I'm kind of a fan of using this instead of the green one, whose name is now eluding me. 4, and it is a sorcery. Boop. Explosive Vegetation, thank you. I was thinking Evolutionary Leap and knew that was incorrect. Anyway, Explosive Vegetation, because it's a turn earlier. Yeah, I get a less land, but once you get up to 4 mana on this deck, I'm already got 5 really good cards. Which one do I want to do? I want to drop Gideon. I want to Languish to save my hide. I want to drop a Thought-Knot Seer. That's a tough call. So, in between, be able to do it at instant speed, so I can hold up an Anguish Unmaking if I need to, or waiting an extra turn to ramp. I mean, I haven't needed to ramp that much yet. Maybe I'll change this later. I haven't decided yet. But so far, it's been really good. It gets me up to 5 mana, so I can drop out Early Planar Outburst if I need to. Means I haven't seen the need for vegetation yet now. Might change my mind later. So let's go on over here. The next card is the Anguish Unmaking. Basically, you don't like it, you kill it. As long as it's not a ban land, you can't target that one. And then obviously the hexproof critters. Otherwise, 3 life, you get rid of whatever it is. Pretty good deal. Thought Not Seer. You know, it comes into play and you basically exile something you don't want to see again. You can't go wrong with that. I have a feeling this would be kind of a bad thing if they had a way of killing it right away. Maybe if they did an English in the making and they get to draw a card, but you do get to get rid of whatever's in his hand, your opponent's hand. So, pretty good deal. You got the the 2 language. 4 language, that'd be great. You got the 2 language to help you deal with somebody coming at you with mass hordes of creatures. You got the Gideon. Archangel Avacyn. Her flash ability, indestructibility, along with some of the smaller creatures you have, makes her really, really good. Hello, Smoke. What is that? Smack Stream. Hey, how you doing, buddy? I have Twitch on in the background behind me on my TV. So you got the Archangel Avacyn. She's absolutely amazing. Maybe not the best deck for her, but yeah, I'm good with it. Plus the Flying Vigilance. Not certain why the Purifier doesn't have Vigilance. I've actually never flipped her, so maybe we'll do that tonight. Then I've got the 2 Guilt Leaf Winners in here. They're extra removal and Eat Stick with Menace. They've actually surprisingly been very relevant and good since the expansion dropped out. So as of right now, I'm going to keep them in there. Reality Smasher, my favorite 5-drop. Put it on the table, swing across. I had a guy use a lightning. I think it was Lightning Axe. It's the 1 mana 5 damage start creature for 1 red if you discard a card. So I ended up throwing away 3 cards to get rid of this thing, and I already dealt 5 damage to him. It was fantastic. Really good card. Trample 1 haste makes it worthwhile. You got Planner Outburst because I want to keep the board clear of my opponent's creatures, so I can drop Ob Nixilis and friends. So Ob Nixilis is one of the ways of drawing cards and stuff. No reason to talk about him. He's been around a while. People know about him. The Uvenwald Hydra. This is basically, along with Avacyn, is the only way you're going to really interact with flying creatures. Really didn't bring him in here for this. He's here for a couple reasons. 1, he gets absolutely stupid big quick. 2, he goes and gets you a land, which if I'm going to go get a land with him, I'm going to go get either something I absolutely need, or I'm going to go get a Westvale Abbey, because this thing just wins games if you get to that point. So, I mean, between that and the fact that he just gets monstrous, they're going to have to find some way of dealing with him. English in Making, or some other high casting cost spell. He's worth it totally. Oblivion Sower. If you've ever seen one of the videos, you know I love this guy. So, had to put him in for certain. We got the 2 Nieces Renewal, because once you get 6 mana, can't go wrong going up to 9, really. And the 7 life is very relevant. The Sorin Grim Nemesis. Holy wow, this guy's awesome. Love him to death. If I could run 4, I would. I killed a guy last night, one of my friends off of NGA, Marnell Estrada, and I apologize for doing it, but played Sorin on turn 6. First thing I grab with his +1 ability, which is reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to its converted mana cost. So the first thing I grabbed was Kozilek. 10 damage right off the top. Next card I grabbed was a Languish. And then later in the game, he bounced stuff. I had to put it back out. And we're looking down at a pretty bad board. He's at 13 life, and I use his +1 ability again. What do I grab? Ulamog. Get him down to 3, and I swing in for an Alpha Strike for the victory. It was pretty awesome. It was crazy, but it was awesome. His -X ability is really good. I mean, he uses a lot of loyalty to use it, but you know, just the ability to basically whack a planeswalker at will, or deal X damage to a creature is amazing. I haven't used his -9 yet. I got him up to 8 loyalty the other night, and then he got bounced. But I would assume it's really good. If they add haste, it would be awesome, but you know, can't win everything. Then they've got Olamog for obvious reasons, and then Kozilek. Which there was a lot of discussion about this guy when he was spoiled. About you have no cards in hand or very few, and you draw up to 7, and suddenly he can pretty much, if you built your deck right, counter most of the relevant kill spells against them. And I haven't had that issue yet. Most of the time I'm either casting a lot of cards in hand or I'd get 4 lands off the top. I don't know. I might just be an outlier, but if you've played this and you've actually gotten a good hand draw after that where you can counter pretty much any relevant spells, let me know. But he's been a beast though. That Menace, actually now think about it, I don't think I've ever swung with Kozilek. I've only cast him like twice, but anyways, going on. We have 3 plains, 3 swamps, 5 forests. I'm running 1 singular waste so I can go fetch it if I need to. Which one of the few things I don't have in here that I probably should as a way of getting the lands out. Hasn't been a problem yet. We'll see. And other than the other than natural connection, there you go. So maybe I need to put in the Sylvan Rangers. We'll see. Next up I have the Hissing Quagmire. It's the black-green manland 2/2 Death Touch, which has actually been better than I thought it was going to be. Now I've got 2 Shambling Vents. I'm running both Westfield Abbeys, because it can actually drop you out a creature for a life and 5 mana. Or you can actually make it into, Ormondal Profane Prince, which honestly, I'm able to flip this guy pretty regularly. You don't need him to win, but he's capable of winning the game for you. I mean, a 9/7 flying life lead, indestructible haste creature. There's not many cards that get rid of this guy once he hits the board. And very few of them are instant speed. I don't think there are any at instant speed. I can't recall any. So, you drop him out, you gain 9 life, basically. It's pretty hard to beat. Pretty awesome. Plus, he gives you the diamond mana. Crumbling Vestige. If you're running a multicolored deck and you've got Eldrazi spells that require diamond-colored mana, you got to put these in. It comes in the battlefield, and for that 1 turn, fixes your mana on however you need to use it. It's been pretty much a godsend. It's really good. And finally, I'm running 3 Evolving Wilds to go get some of these basic lands. I had thought briefly about running 4, but I definitely don't want to overextend into the having too many Evolving Wilds for the amount of basic lands I have in the deck. So there you go. And finally, we are running 9 white spells, 8 black, and 14 green, 2 colors, and 5 diamond. Curve is 2, 2, 11 in the 3 spot, 5 in the 4, 8 in the 5, and 7 at 6+. So the fact that I have a fairly high curve, I am running 25 land, and just depending on who you ask, that's even too low. It might need to go up to 26. I don't know yet. We'll see how that works out. Also, might have to switch out connection for explosive vegetation. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a second to put this up on YouTube and get started on games right after this. So, see you guys later.